All right, ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? Welcome back. Here we are, game number 2 between MVP and Marine King Prime. This time we're here on Shattered Temple with the spawning in the 9 o'clock position here. We have got MVP. I don't know why I said with spawning in the 9 o'clock position here. We've got MVP as their red Terran player, and then down over here in the 6 o'clock, Marine King Prime as the blue Terran player. So yes, continuing up these mirror matchups here. I did PvP earlier in the week, and now it's time for TVT, and stay tuned later, probably within the next day or two, for some ZVZ action. Once more, I don't happen to get a lot of those replays made available to me. I'm not saying that those games are never played, I just don't happen to see a lot of them on the replay sites I visit. But I scoured the web, and even though I may be pulling from some older games, I just wanted to get you guys some good mirror matchups. So hopefully that's what we'll be presenting you with here today. A little interesting deviation here is that we are seeing MVP actually go with the supply depot at the front. Now he will be formulating some semblance of a wall off that is quite evident there as Marine King Prime, going with typically what we see a lot of the times in TVT. That pulling that depot so close to your resource line is simply done because you want your you don't want that SCV too far away when you drop that depot. Basically, the further you travel, the less time that SCV is mining. So we saw, the SCV just had to go from here, drop the depot, and then he could go straight back to mining right away. That's a much quicker turnaround. Whereas if you got to travel all the way to the front, drop the depot, and then travel all the way back to start mining, it's just a much longer, and you end up resulting in a smaller income and just less income as early in the game. It's very minimal, but it still exists, and it's still something to consider. So, anywho, we are going to be seeing a refinery early on from both players. So this time, last game we saw both players actually open up with a 1 racks into expand. This time we're actually going to see both players open up 1 racks, move into a refinery after that point. And again, we will be seeing that complete wall off here from MVP. Now, whether or not he's going to keep this barracks up front, it's really unlikely. In all honesty, what I expect him to do is at some point soon to lift it off and drop a bunker there. That's my assumption anyways. I could certainly be wrong. Here comes that orbital command as well as that first Marine. We're going to be seeing that second depot get placed down very, very shortly. And that first Marine will actually be making its way up front to try to intercept any scouting SCVs. And here it is. Let's see if he manages to catch Marine King Prime off guard. And he does. And this is going to be a free SCV kill here. Really nothing that Marine King Prime can do to get away as long as MVP is paying attention with a little bit of micro. There we go. Finally pulling him. He's going to be able to get within range just barely. And there it is. Free kill for him. Beautiful, beautiful there. We're actually going to be seeing a Reaper opening here from Marine King Prime. He's going to be moving straight into MVP's base. And actually, did MVP scout that out? Yes, he did. He scouted the early tech lab. The immediate assumption there in TVT is that you will be seeing Reapers. You don't expect Marauders early on. They just don't make a lot of sense. Going Mass Marine will tear through Marauders, so that's kind of a major issue there. And again, if you see a tech lab that early without any Marines in play, just expect a Reaper. And as a result, we are going to see MVP move down to intercept it, forcing the Reaper all the way down. So the Reaper ended up doing pretty much no damage. In fact, I don't know if he got a single shot off. I think he might have shot that one Marine. No, that was about it. Reaper very, very low in health, forced all the way back right now, and MVP is just continuing to mass up those Marines, also working his way out into some starport play, and that's something that, again, was not scouted out. We saw that Marine King Prime was unable to actually scout out those units. What did he kill over here? It's very interesting. I don't know what he ended up killing. I'm assuming it was an SCV. Yeah, that must have been the SCV that ended up dropping. He probably was just moving that in for a secondary scout. Let's see if he caught much of anything. There we go. Beautiful. He did catch that expansion being produced. So he knows an expo is coming out. Here we go. Hellions will be being produced in the main. Marine King Prime has no idea about this. At the same time, we're going to be seeing a tech lab here. So we'll be seeing him move right into some Banshee play, massing up those Marines. He's actually likely to push out front with those Marines with the main goal of delaying this expansion and allowing this pressure that's about to come forth to do a lot of damage. Very, very sneaky play here by MVP, and I'm quite impressed that it's actually managing to work. Very surprised that Marine King Prime hasn't checked back here. I don't expect him to build a building back here because it would be so vulnerable to Banshee harass. That's why you kind of keep things nice and tight so that Banshee harass is much easier to deal with as you move around with your Marines to try to defend. But I'm very surprised that he is not even scouted back here, and these Hellions are continuing to be produced inside of his main. Here come those Kuluk Banshees as well. Obviously, we are going to be seeing Marine King MVP MVP just continue to mass up here and make sure that this early game pressure does as much damage as possible. And wow, very interesting turn of events about to happen, most likely very shortly here. We will be seeing an engineering bay come into play. At the same time, we got to work up to a factory, and here come those Hellions straight for that resource line. Let's see how much damage he is able to do right now. Gonna be going straight for those SCVs and trying to kill off as many as possible. Nice micro there, pulling back there with the Hellion before it managed to get takeout. We do have combat shield for these Marines, making it a bit more difficult for these Hellions to do too much damage. Here comes the Banshee, though. Going to be assisting in thinning up those Marine numbers, and the Hellions going back to work here on the resource line. That Banshee wants to go straight for those Marines. As long as he can take out that anti-air as quick as possible, he's going to be doing all right. Nice micro here with the Hellions and the Banshee, microing them individually. That one Hellion, unfortunately, a little bit mis-microed, and it does look like there are way too many Marines right now for him to be able to continue this up. He's got just that Banshee left, but guess what? Here comes Cloak Research. We'll be finished in just 1 second, and there it is, dropping down the Cloak. Now, we do have enough energy for a scan, and let's see when and if that gets taken down. We're going to see that Banshee for MVP try to micro around, and again, he's going to be trying to kill off as many workers as possible. Already 8 kills here for this Banshee. How many workers? 13 workers killed thus far for MVP in this game, and this is a major headache for Marine King Prime. Another Hellion and Cloak Banshee moving on over in this direction. And let's see what ends up happening. One Cloak Banshee over here going to town. Another Cloak Banshee over here getting more and more kills. Just racking up these numbers and putting Marine King Prime further and further behind without Stim Pack. Unable to catch up to that Cloak Banshee as he pulls away from that scan. The other Cloak Banshee over here forced to pull back as he doesn't have any more energy. And look at this, just dual Banshee action, harassing from both angles. This is unbelievable play here from MVP. He's doing a phenomenal job. And Marine King Prime having an awful time at dealing with this. 20 workers killed so far. So we are going to see the fact that, yes, indeed, MVP is ahead economically. He's also got his expansion coming out. Major problem here for Marine King Prime is he has not been able to utilize that expansion. So he invested so many resources and really isn't even making use of it, as he isn't down at his expansion. Now, he's been using this to actually get additional scans, however, and also continue to resaturate this line much more quickly. Problem is, though, that he keeps dumping these resources, and he's still on one base, and very shortly we will be seeing MVP move into a second base, and this is it's just unreal how effective this is being right now for MVP. I'm just thoroughly impressed. The one Banshee over here garnering up some energy for an eventual re-engagement. That Banshee gets taken out. Let's see if he grabs this one shortly. Now, we do have Stim Pack in play. Will make it much easier for those Marines to actually take out those Cloak Banshees. But what we are seeing MVP do is he's trying to actually force the usage of those scans, try to force him to use up that energy on scans instead of muling up and further put him behind economically. And again, just more Banshee harass. There's the Stim. And the Banshee's about to lose energy. Oh, there it is. It gets taken out with a scan. Plus, it was about to lose that energy there. This Banshee's still chilling out. There we go. Finally pulling down to re-engage with that. Got one Banshee repaired up, going to move down to re-engage again. This Banshee over here, he's going to be popping in just a few moments. Another Cloak engaged Banshee moving down, and okay, does have enough energy to scan, but does he want to waste it? That's the question. He's just going to be continuously taking pop shots here and moving across the center of the map as well with these Marines and this tank. Now, he does have Siege Tech finished in just 1 moment, and this is going to be a big headache because we're going to see that tank siege up. We're going to see that Banshee grant him vision of the high ground, and then all of a sudden, MVP has got a strong siege line out front, and we're going to be seeing another siege tank come down as well, and here it goes, sieging up Marines as a buffer, and this is probably going to do it, my friends, as MVP is now inside of Marine King Prime's main base and just doing a lot of damage. He's also got a Cloak Banshee in the back, helping to assist in that damage and harass. And yeah, that is it. Going to be losing some of these racks here. That's reactors about to get dropped down. These 2 racks about to get taken out. Really nothing that Marine King Prime can do about that. Scanning up on the high ground, but the Banshee's now over here in a safe position. And MVP wins the game yet again, and with this, he will be taking the series. Now, we will be seeing Marine King Prime actually attempt to do something here. He's going to be moving out with an attempted counterattack. He's just trying to stick in this game, surprisingly enough, especially given the fact that he is just so out of luck at the moment. Let's see what that drop harass is going to end up doing. Where is it? There it is. Here we go. Marines dropping over here in the main. We got a couple of tanks moving down and Banshees and just mopping up that drop and making for the GG. Alright, my friends, that is it. Game number 2 here, going to MVP as he takes the series 2-0. We saw him open up with some Banshee and Proxy Factory Hellion harass. Proved to be very, very effective. He basically kept Marine King Prime inside of his main base. This allowed him to work his way up to Siege Tech and push out with this Marine and Marine and Tank contain, and that resulted in the immediate GG. We saw an attempted counter drop there from Marine King Prime, but it proved to not be effective, and there you go, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this series here. Again, trying to keep up these mirror matchups for you guys. As long as you're enjoying them and watching them, then I'll be sure to do it. All right, thanks so much. As always, if you like the content, please subscribe. Thanks again, guys. Keep watching and keep owning.